Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and today I'd like to talk to you about some tips and some ideas about how you can win your Social Security disability case early. Everybody wants an early decision. Obviously, you've probably heard about the delays that are plaguing Social Security right now, but there's still a few things you can do to win your case early, and if you can do that and avoid the need to hire an attorney, by all means, you should do that, because again, this is important for you and your family to maximize your income and medical insurance benefits, and again, I think this is something that more people could do if they knew sort of the secrets about how to do it. First and foremost is when you fill in the forms, and I'm specifically talking about the forms where you identify the doctors and hospitals where you've treated, it's extremely important that you make sure that everything is properly spelled and that the addresses are correct. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at files and the name of the doctor was misspelled, or the address was not correct, and the adjudicator, the person, the claims adjuster at Social Security, was not able to obtain medical records. So what you can do is when you fill out those initial forms, and again, you've got plenty of time to do this, look up the name of the doctor, make sure that the doctor's name is spelled exactly correct. Secondly, is call the doctor's office and ask them for the mailing address for medical records. Again, sometimes what I see is people go to the doctor, they get a piece of paper that's got some sort of a report or some sort of a bill on it, maybe the billing address, and that's the address they give to the adjudicator, or fill in when they fill in the form, and it turns out that that's not the correct address for medical records. So it's important to make a phone call and contact your doctor's office and ask for the spelling of the doctor's name, exact spelling. If he's part of a group, he or she is part of a group, make sure you get that part of it in there as well. And make sure you get the address for medical records, not just necessarily billing addresses. And the same goes for hospitals. A lot of hospitals outsource medical records, and so if you can get the address of where the medical records request needs to go, then you should do that, because I'll tell you, in my office, when we request medical records, that's what my paralegal does, is she gets on the phone before sending off a request, and we will make sure that we've got the correct address. And along those lines, the second thing you should do is follow up with your doctor. Normally, when you get a notification that Social Security has sent your case to a particular adjudicator, at that same time the adjudicator is sending out requests for medical records from your doctor. And what I would tell you to do is, certainly within 30 days of getting that initial notice, contact your doctor's office and ask the receptionist, have they received the request for medical records, and have they sent the paperwork in? Again, some doctors don't want to mess with this, but you've got to be your own advocate here. So it's important that you get on the phone and ask them, have they fulfilled it, and are they planning on doing so? And if they're not, is there anything you can do to help speed the process along? Sometimes you may have to physically go down to your doctor's office, get copies of the records, and send them to the adjudicator yourself. It's kind of unusual you'd have to do that, but again, some doctors don't really want to deal with the medical record requests. They don't get paid very much, and so they tend to ignore it. But I've seen a lot of denial notices where a main treating doctor's records were not even considered because the doctor didn't send them back and nobody knew about it until the adjudicator made his or her decision. So I think if you make a little bit of effort following up with your doctor, it can really go a long way. I think a third thing you can do to really improve your chances is when you fill out the forms, and I'm talking now about the forms that ask you why you feel you cannot work. And again, remember that the main issue in a Social Security case is why you're not able to work. You focus on one or two major conditions. I think it's a mistake to try to focus on 10 different things. You want to really focus on one or two major things, and specifically those things that impact your capacity for work. Again, you have to realize these adjudicators are busy, and so if you have rheumatoid arthritis, for example, that's probably going to be more important than toenail fungus. Now, I'm not saying that toenail fungus is not important, because it could affect your ability to walk and so forth, but focus on the main things that are disabling, and really put most of your effort and time into those things. List the other things, but I think you want to really focus on one or two main conditions. I think the fourth thing I would tell you when you're trying to get approved early is enlist the help of your doctor. Again, some doctors want to help you. They may not know how. And really what you want them to do is to write a to whom it may concern letter, a letter to Social Security, where it spells out why the doctor feels that you would have difficulty performing various functions that are equivalent to work. For example, sitting, standing, walking, lifting, carrying. Do you need to have your legs raised? Do you need to take unscheduled breaks? If it's mental health, do you have problems with attention and concentration, focus, interfacing with other people, coworkers, supervisors? Try to get the doctor to give you some guidance, or give Social Security some guidance, but really focus on those things that would affect your capacity for work. And if your doctor will do that, that goes a long way, because really what I do when I'm representing somebody is I ask the doctor to fill out a checklist, a functional capacity form, typically, that addresses the functional issues that would impact your capacity for work. And if you can get to that early and get the doctor to do it in a narrative form, that really goes a long way. So those are some, I guess, 4 of the main things that come to mind as far as how you can try to get your case approved early. Again, statistically, a lot of good cases are not approved early, but I think the big one is the organization. If you can make sure that the adjudicator has everything he or she needs, that really goes a long way. And you would be surprised about how many cases medical records are not requested or missed because nobody bothers to give the adjudicator the correct spelling of the doctor or a correct address for medical records. So hope this has been helpful. Again, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and we'll talk to you soon.